Goomy, I'll be honest with you. I'm pissed off. So I recorded this once, right? But it wasn't that good. I was like out on a walk and I was like, I'll record these real fast on my phone. And I wasn't paying all that much attention and it was bad. So I was like, okay, I'll re record them when I go. So I re recorded this game. And then I look over at OBS, which is this guy here, right? And I see desktop audio. And it wasn't muted, which is fine. It doesn't need to be. There should be no audio. But I had another tab of Super Auto Pets open over here, and this one was unmuted. So the entire time, all you hear is this. This is what you hear the whole time. So anyway, I'm pissed. So I'm gonna speedrun this. First turn's good. First turn I like. You can also position the cricket differently. You don't have to. Like cricket, you kind of have the option of front or back. It like kind of breaks the rule of higher attack in the back because it gets the summon, which is good for draws. Okay, these pigeons. Let's go back actually because this is important. I don't like this pigeon. So this gives us one roll to try to find, like, to try and find two of one of these pets, which is like pretty unlikely. We can also sell the pig, but like ideally you don't have to sell the pig. You have the option to if you like find the triple and want to be able to buy it now or like get it on board now because that saves you some gold. But you'd prefer to keep the 2 gold into the later turns because the gold's better there. So like we could have 4 rolls to try to find 2 of one of these pets, or we could have 1 roll to try and find 2 of one of these pets. And either way, we still have the option to sell pig. But then we take this, and so it's like, And then we sell to buy the beaver. But like the beaver, we're pretty much never gonna have the triple of. Like, I mean, sometimes we'll hit it here, and even then we can't buy it yet. So it's like we have to spend gold next turn. So it just all feels awkward. But we end up hitting the pigeon triple, so like it works out. But I'm gonna skip the battle because again I've watched this too many times, so we're gonna speedrun this a little bit. Okay, so here you have 3 great things in the shop. Like, at least in this case, like Kangaroo's great, Flamingo's obviously great, and Ox is obviously great. Flamingo's great because, like, I mean, this is an Ox, right? It's gonna have a melon, so like it's guaranteed attacking multiple times. And this guy likes it when things attack multiple times. And also we have like a perfect board. We have 3 gold, we have 3 useless things on board, and we have 2 things to buy. Perfect spot to just like sell the cricket, buy the Kanga, sell the beaver, buy the Flamingo. It's like perfect gold, but we end up doing it. Kangaroo's like another thing that like sometimes ends up getting buffed on my board. It like doesn't feel great to buff it, but it's a lot of tempo early game. If you have just another big unit, it kind of also becomes a big unit. And it gave us like a perfect spot to sell the beavers. We buy the snail. Snail's like great with Ox, so I think like if you have an Ox on board, you should pretty much just what you did. Like you can rip snails preemptively, just because eventually you're gonna lose rounds, so you might as well prepare for that by having it on board already. Perfect. We pill the Flamingo in front of the Ox, so we get the extra 1 attack, and we get a melon on board. We sell both of these. Then we buy the Flamingo and buy the rat. Rat is a terrible unit, but it's fine here. it's good here. In general, it's a bad unit, but like this is fine. It's just a decent stat line. Yeah, it's just a good stat line, and could help you win the turn. So I'm like not mad at the rat here at all. But in general, rat's a bad unit. But again, this is fine. This is a fine rat. This dodo, on the other hand, I hate this dodo. I don't like this dodo one bit. So dodo is like, if I hit it on a tier up, I'm not happy. I'm like, fine, I guess. I'm like, sure, I guess I'm going with a dodo. But like, I never really love it if I hit it. Because like a lot of times you're not getting a ton of value out of the attack. Because it's like, you put the attack on something, but you're buffing the dodo, so the other thing probably doesn't have all that much health. In this case, it's a little bit better, because Ox does have melon on it. But also, dodo's just not that good at level 1. Like, level 1 dodo's, it's better with the snail. Snail makes it a little bit better with how snail is these days. But even then, it's like, it's really awkward taking it on curve. Taking it ahead of curve, that's fine. You probably won't hear me complain unless you take it over something really good. And taking it on curve is like, well, it's not good unless you get the triple, and we're already, like, I guess we're not that far into turn 5, but we're into turn 5. It's like we're not all that likely to find the triple soon, and we'd rather just buff the Ox because it can have a melon, but, Anyway, moral of the story, I don't like Dodo. And then this cake, I think I just prefer it on the Ox. It feels weird to replace the melon, but, like, we're replacing the melon so that we get permanent scaling, and we get the temp stats, which is great. And then we just get the melon back in battle. Like, we don't actually lose out on the melon. We're still always going to have the melon. Like, Ox really likes having cake, even without a rabbit. Because the downside of cake is you can't have another perk on it, right? Like, cake gives you temporary stats and, like, rabbit upside. But then, like, you can't have garlic on it, right? Because garlic used to be really good, but now cake is really good, so it kind of overshadows garlic. But, that used to be, like, so cake is good for that reason. Ox breaks that rule. Ox is like, no, I'm going to have a melon anyway, and I'll get temp stats, which is just great. So it's like, yeah. So anyway, I honestly probably just put it on Ox. It's, like, fine on Dodo, but again, I don't like Dodo, so. But if we find another cake, we should put it on Ox. We don't do that in this game, because I've watched this game 3 times now, but, we should have. But that's, like, awkward to find, so I'm not mad about it. And then we buy another cake, which is good, because we should be buying cakes, but, again, I prefer it on Ox. But, like, rabbit's the next thing that you want to put on anyway. This is also, like, just a somewhat minor thing, but we can just pill it in front of the Ox again. We get the 1 extra attack. You always get that, no matter what. Whether it has a melon, doesn't have a melon, doesn't matter. You're going to get the 1 attack. So it's like just 1 extra attack. And then it also gives you a melon. And you might be thinking, but he already has a melon. You're right, but it gives him another melon, which doesn't do anything. Like, him having another melon, like, it's the same melon. But the melon will jump, right? The melon will, like, act like he's getting it again, which counts as him eating food. So the rabbit's going to give him a health. So he could get, like, an extra apple on him. And, I mean, the apple, or the health from the rabbit is just being redistributed from either the rabbit or the dodo. But, again, the Ox is, like, what we want the stats on most anyway. So, like, we'd prefer that. But that's, like, somewhat minor. But, like, even if it has a melon, you can still pill stuff in front of it. And it'll just still have a melon, and it'll gain some attack. And then especially with rabbit, it's good. Because, yeah, stuff like turtle just also triggers your rabbit. Like, getting melon from that. Which is, like, something you don't really think about, so. We hit the breakpoint because of the dodo, but we also could have done it without the dodo. The dodo's not giving us much. It's giving us 3 attack in battle. Which is, like, not anything crazy. We could have gotten that by not buying stats on the dodo and just buying them on the Ox. Let's just skip that Ox, which is maybe fine. But, I mean, we're keeping the Ox on board, so we might as well get an apple with upside. Right? Because, like, the upside is we could find, like, a tier up for turn 9. And turn 9 is, like, maybe the most powerful tier ups because you can get snake, you can get tiger, you can get cat, you can get, mammoth. Yeah, like boar, which is really strong. So it's like I'd probably just rip it, but we end up finding a rabbit, which feels good. We'll just take the level here. Yep, because we can sell this snail to get something. Oh wait, we don't take the triple here. I thought we did. What? I was actually very convinced we did. I've watched this game multiple times. How did I? What? Why possibly are you freezing a rat? Why did you use freeze roll rat? Was that a misclick? Where did the rabbit go? Hold on, what is happening? This is not accurate. This did not happen. None of that happened. The game is breaking. Hold on. Because if that was, yeah, what? What? what was any of that? Bro, the game was just lying to me. Okay, yeah, I was gonna say, I remember you taking the tier up and finding a cow, and then not taking the cow, which made me mad. We can just take the cow. It's like so much tempo that we can just get immediately. Like, just sell your snail. Snail's doing nothing for you. This thing immediately gives you milks and also is just bigger base stats. So, yeah. Because you're going to buy it next turn. So just sell and buy it now. You know, instead of freeze rolling. Because freeze rolling's bad. So, if we can find a way to avoid it, we will. And like turn 7, we don't care about the snail. Even if we lose this round, it's like we don't really care if we have the snail or not. We do lose the round, but again, like we shouldn't really care about the snail. I'd much rather have had the cow there because we potentially could have won the round if we had that cow. I don't know if we do. I don't want to look at the breakpoints, but potentially. But now we take it on the ox, which is good. Again, it's a little bit awkward because of the dodo. It's like dodo wants stats so that it can give more stats, but then the ox is the better unit to put stats on. So it's like it just gets awkward. We do find the level 2 dodo, which makes dodo significantly better. But yeah, level 1 dodo sucks. Level 2 dodo is like, okay, now it's getting pretty good. But also we find seal, which is great. We love seal. We love seal right now because we have rabbit. And generally we don't love seal unless we have rabbit. Or like sometimes just we take it because of cake. But we're going to get to why I'm saying all this. Because I hate this. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't feed your seal. Your seal can eat cakes. He likes cake. He doesn't like pears. So the reason for this, right? If we flash back to one update ago, seal was like a terrible unit last update because cake didn't exist. This was just not here. And seal was a terrible unit. It was like you never took it. You know, there were very rare instances where you took the seal, and it was generally like, even if it was a situation where you took seal, you were still like, I still don't really think I was supposed to take seal here, you know? And the reason for that is like seal wants your food, but you don't really want to give seal your food because it's not a good unit, right? Like if you think about what the seal is, when you go into battle, when you press end turn, when you're actually fighting your opponent, this is a beaver. Better yet, this is a duck. It's the same thing. That to say, it does nothing when you're in the battle. Like it being a seal means nothing. It could be a duck. Would you want to be buffing a duck? No. Would you're buffing it to get the extra 3 attack? But that's like you're buffing a useless unit to get less stats than the stats you're putting on it on your good units. So like you could just buy the stats on the good unit. You know? Like seal is good because if you put a cake on it, it's passive scaling, which is great. We like that. And it also is a nice little like place where your spread foods can hit. Like if you rip a sushi and it hits your seal, then you're not losing the full value of the food. Right? Pear, you're losing the entire value of this pear to get 3 attack on your units you actually care about. A sushi, if it hits your seal, you're losing 1 of the sushi's hits to get an extra 3 attack. That's great. I mean, that's like a positive trade. You're getting 3 stats for 2. And, you know, I mean, you are buffing the seal. The seal does get bigger. It's a bigger body on your team. But yeah, but just ripping a pair on it, I don't like. I'd rather put it on either of the other 2 units. Anyway. Because, like, yeah, if we put, like, the dodo getting hit with this 1 attack, right? It gives you 2 attack, essentially, because 1 from just it going on the dodo, and then 1 from the dodo giving attack to the ox. If we put the pair on it, it gives 4 attack. And he also gained 1 attack. Like, it's, you know, it's the same total, but the health, like, doesn't matter on him because he has no attack, because he's not getting attack from himself. Moral of the story, just don't put pairs on your seals. That's what all that was trying to say. Don't buy food directly onto your seal. Like, sometimes chocolate if you're going for a level, but that's a different situation. Scorpion Freeze, I like that. It can, like, scam your rounds. You know, like, if you end up losing this round, then it could always help you get there next round. But we win the round anyway, so we don't care. So, yeah, moral of the story, don't buff your seal like that. Seal is good for cake. And it's, like, with rabbit, you know. Like, if you have a rabbit, you can buy a cake on it, and that's good, because you're getting health and attack. But you don't really want to rip food onto your seal, generally. because you probably have units with better abilities that you can put on. Okay, now onto the game that I haven't watched 4 times. I've watched it once. Okay, speed it up. Beavers, great. And then beavers and ducks, beautiful. We love it. Absolutely love it. And we draw. I'm just gonna skip it. It's early game. We don't really care. Yeah, we combine for the throw round, which it's whatever. It's early, but it doesn't matter. And then we don't end up finding anything. I think I just end up taking something. Like when we're on 3 gold, I just buy whatever. We're only rolling for duck, and the odds of hitting it like aren't that great. I mean, it's like decently high actually, but it's like not the greatest, and we can't even buy it this turn. So I'm just buying like a fish or just anything, just whatever the best unit is, or maybe the worst unit since it's a throw around. And then I'm just selling it next turn. It's just 1 gold into turn 3. Like once you have 1 triple, I don't care too much about forcing the other triple. Cool, nice. We find camel here. Okay, I don't love these beaver cycles. I mean, I don't know. On this turn is fine. We only have 2 targets, but also we have a snail, and the snail is going to give us more attack. Like we're not gonna have too many troubles getting attack in this early game because we have snail, and it's gonna trigger now. There's like a bug flying around me. It's pissing me off. Anyway, the thing we're gonna have troubles getting is attack because we don't currently have a way to get it. It's like just ripping the apples is probably better than cycling seals. Also, right now we have like perfect gold to just buy the apple and then buy a cricket. Like it's a tier 1, but it's just gold efficient, which is like sometimes a trap. But like I don't know. In this case, I think it's just like quite a bit more tempo, especially where this has duck stats. So it could be like with the snail stats, it'd be like a 2/5 unit. This gets an apple of value, and then this hits at least once, and now this is like a 3/7, which is like that's pretty big. That's gonna trade a lot of their board a lot of the time. And we end up cycling another beaver, which again, same reasoning. It's like we're just getting too much attack here, and we don't have enough health, which is going to be a recurring theme throughout this game. Of we need to find ways to get health, and we just keep finding more ways to get attack. Like health is the more important stat, because like if you have more health, you can like your attack could essentially double because you have more health, right? Because if you survive a hit, you get to attack again, which is like you're pretty much doubling the amount of attack you had. If you have more health, or if you have more attack, you're never making your health more efficient, right? Your health is just always, what it is. So health is like a better stat than attack, which is why the like snail buff is so devastating. Or snail nerf, sorry. Also, I'd like probably just take this crab, or at least freeze it. Again, it also helps kind of solve the problem of the not having health, because it will copy health from one of your units. So it's like it kind of helps make up for the having too much attack thing. So like I don't mind leveling it, especially where we already have 1. Like I'm not ripping a crab if we don't have 1, but like I definitely freeze this. It's like a potential triple, and having a level just like not bad. But yeah, again, like our units all just have a ton of attack and no health, which also means like we just absolutely die to like melons or snipes. Okay, we end up buying this crab, which begs the question of why didn't we freeze the other crab if we're buying a crab in the opening shop. We buy cake, which is good. I like cake. We find another snail. Like again, I don't know. It's a potential tear up, so it's like fine. But again, we really need to find some way to get health here. And like one of those ways could be make our board small and start saladizing. It's like we have to do something. And now they have a melon, which feels really bad because we don't have health. And melon is like very good against low health boards. Because if your units hit multiple times, they can just trade through multiple units, and you don't really care how much attack they have. Okay, we find a rabbit. That's good. I honestly probably sell a snail here and just buy this cake. Okay, cool. Nice. Actually, didn't remember if you did that or not. That was good. I like that. That's good. Because, yeah, we need this health desperately. And now we, like, have a way to find health, which is good. because, our attack was getting, out of hand. Nice. Okay, so we're winning turns here, which is good. It's like we've now found a way to stabilize our health and attack, which is good. So now we will start working towards that. We find a seal, and we have a cake in the shop, which is great. And we also have a turtle, which we definitely want to freeze, because turtle's really good. Good, nice. We find a pair. Yeah, okay. And yeah, see, we get more attack, which is like, at this point, we're getting the same amount of attack and health every turn, which is, like, whatever, I guess. It's fine. Ideally, we'd get more health than attack, but we don't have a way to do that, so there's no reason to complain about it. But we still do have a bit too much attack and not enough health. Like, having more health than attack is great. It's what you would prefer. But then we buy our stats on seal, which has the same problem of last time, as we're buffing a unit that doesn't do anything. And it also doesn't have good stats. Like, we have 2 units that already have stats and have abilities. I mean, his abilities, like, it just gains more stats, but that's fine. It's something. The more important part is you could buff, like, the camel. And, like, you could even consider buffing the crab. But the point is, it gives you health. This, you're getting health on a unit that has no attack. These things have attack. If we get more health on them, that attack is, like, essentially doubled, right? Because if it can swing twice instead of just once, then you're doing, like, 32 damage instead of 16. Which is, like, a weird way to think about it, but it, like, kind of makes sense. Instead, we're just buffing a unit that, like, isn't going to do anything in battle, and, like, we could use these pairs to get our health to be at least even with our, attack, or at least, like, work towards it. Because at the moment, we're actively getting further from it. Which is, like, ideally, your stats would be, like, balanced, pretty much. Or if one of them's bigger, you'd want it to be attack. Melons do help deal with that, because melons are, like, artificial health. But again, we could just be putting the pairs on, not a seal. But we talked about that. Okay, we lose this turn. Nice. Okay, that gets us quite a bit of health. And then, like, here, this dragon. So dragon is awkward, especially on this board. Like, on this board, we had some scaling. I think that rabbit was level 1, right? I think, yeah, it was level 1. So it's like, I'm selling it. It's reasonable to sell it to get something, though we do need health. This dragon, we're on 3 lives. We would have to sell the turtle, which immediately loses us quite a bit of tempo. So if you're selling the turtle, you're probably losing this round. And, like, dragon level 1 isn't that great. I mean, they're not scaling. So if we just start ripping, tier 1s with the level 1 dragon, that's, like, maybe fine. But they have quite a few melons that we kind of have to deal with. And if we can't deal with the melons, we can't really trade through their board. But, like, dragon is usually, like, if you can get it and you can get it level 2, it's insanely strong. If it's only level 1, then it's, like, not so good. It's, like, fine, but not great. I'm generally just not a fan of dragon, if I'm being honest. Like, if we have, like, 5 lives, then yeah, sure, it's good. You can just, like, kind of spend these turns rolling for chocolate, pretty much. Freezing your tier 1s, and then, you can level 2 the dragon pretty quick, start pumping out stats. Like, level 2 is insane. But, yeah. But, like, now, we lose this round, which feels pretty bad, because now we're on, like, 2 lives, so buying this chocolate doesn't feel great, because it's like, we need something that will make us not die, because it's like, we have 2 lives, we don't have all that much time to be buying chocolate, but, we buy the chocolate, and then we sell the turtle, which is like, now we're for sure losing this round. Like, now we can't even compete with this round. And then, yeah, I mean, we just get some tier 1 stats, and we don't even get all of them, which is kind of confusing. We roll, we find a chocolate, so it's like, okay, now we can get level 2 dragon, but what, we're going to be on 1 life, and that's like, we can get, we can't even get all of these, or no, we can, because we're selling them, yeah, so we can get, like, the stats from that, where we spent so much gold to get those stats. It's like, we could have found just, like, better units that would have mattered a bit more, you know. Like, it's just a bit too slow. It, like, starts out too slow. Of, like, it doesn't give you anything at first. Okay. Alright. Yeah. So we got, like, out of this dragon, we ended up getting, like, I don't know how many stats we ended up getting, but not a ton, realistically. When we buy the leopard, this leopard is just pretty much acting like a mosquito, but I guess it can also kill the fly if the fly doesn't get any stats, but, like, it's fine, because it can pop the melons, which I think we would need to win the round. Realistically, I don't know if we can win the round, but I think it's maybe one of the ways we potentially could sometimes. It's hard, though. And it does pop a melon, which is huge. That's, like, ideal. And unfortunately, we don't quite get there, which is annoying. But, yeah, I don't know. I'm just not a fan of dragon, especially with, like, not a ton of lives left. Like, cat you can get away with, because cat immediately is, like, pretty fast, because you can just start buying food. Dragon starts pretty slow, because it's, like, not that great at level 1. And then level 2 is, like, bang, you know, it's really good. But, yeah. So, anyway. But also, the main point here, stop buying pairs on seals. Please. Actually, real quick, what is my, which I haven't played this patch all that much, especially compared to the last patch. So let's see, how many seals have I taken? None, pretty much. It's my lowest thing. I take more armadillos than seals, and I hate armadillo and rooster. All three of these are bad pets. Scorpion should be higher, I think, a little higher, not a ton higher. But yeah, this thing, bad pet. And a lot of, like, probably a good bit of this is from this patch. Yeah, seal is, like, just such a terrible unit. Or at least it was. Now it's, like, decent, but, you know, again, I don't like putting pairs on it. Anyway, yeah, hopefully that's helpful.